Buongiorno and welcome back to Koi Fish Johnny. This is the part of koi keeping that I hate the absolute most. It's scraping the koi to look for parasites. There's all sorts of bits and bats that can go wrong, fiddly bits that make you nervous during this particular section, like i.e. taking something and scraping the fish. You could damage the scale, you could damage the fish could have a negative reaction to it. Getting the fish out the pond, unsettling it, putting it in the bowl, moving it around, getting the ample amount of mucus, and then to top it off at the end of all that and getting the fish safely back into the pond, you have then got to look through a microscope, which I've got on the side there at my Apex practitioner. Now what I do, because I am not the best at scraping, like I say, I hate it. It is the part of this hobby that I hate the most. Not hate the most, I dislike the most. At the beginning I found it funny because I felt like I was like a little scientist with my microscope looking through things. Now I just find it like, I don't know, I just dislike it. So I'm not the best at doing it and I'm not the best at finding things, but I know somebody who is, and that's my koi dealer Dave. Whenever I take it, his is bigger than mine, more powerful than mine, and can do a better job than mine. And we are talking about microscopes, not telescopes there, baby. All right, microscopes, because that would be a different story. So as you can see in the background, just to run you through what I have got, why I've got it, and how I'm going to proceed with this, is I have got my bowl, my oversized koi bowl, 65 centimeters, and we are going to be pulling out the Karachagoi. And the reason why I'm pulling out the Karachagoi is a few different reasons. I've gone off on a tangent, I know. One is I think it's substantially grown since it went in, and I did take some pictures, or I didn't record the size of the fish before they entered the pond, which is disappointing. My excitement there experienced in the mystery box video, which is amazing. I've been and watched it again today because it was just a really exciting day, a family day, putting the fish in, but I forgot to measure each and every one. So what I've done is I've gone back through the video and took the best stills I can from that video to work out roughly what the size of the Karachagoi was when he went in. And I'm thinking he's about, off these pictures, 31, 32 centimeters when he went in, and quite, not thin, had a broad head on him, but he's definitely filled out, packed out a little bit, like me, you know what I mean, throughout the years. I packed out a little bit as well. So we're going to be pulling him out because I'm interested to see whether he has grown from a selfish perspective. But from the logical perspective, he is Doitsu, so meaning he's got no scales. So there's less chance of like damaging a scale if he's got none on him. So I do prefer to scrape the Doitsu fish if I can. And the most important reason I've left to last is I have seen a bit of a decline in his behaviour. I mean, it could be weather adjustments and putting himself in the corner. I've noticed him flicking a little bit, and I just think if there is something in that pond, which I'm thinking is quite probable, to be honest, with like the adjustment in behaviour from the Karachagoi, which is the big yellow one, as my son calls it. Like I say, he's just been flicking, and he's been flicking a little bit. I won't say it's been a massive amount of flicking. In fact, one thing I forgot to do is the temperature of the pond. It's 18.6 degrees in the pond. You'll notice that you can't really see the fish, but that is consistent with their behaviour in this pond. Like all fish have been the same. During this time, like the morning, midday, they are generally inactive and quite quiet. I have no idea why, but every batch of fish have been like that in this pond. They're evening fish. They like to socialise during the evening and come up and parade themselves in front of the windows. But this is the quietest time that I have possibly got to complete this mission, because the kids are at school, the wife is at work, and I am home alone and trusted and believe I can complete this mission on my own without the supervision of the wife. So another point you might notice is the water lettuces. In fact, let me take you over the top so you can have a look. I wonder when these are going to die. There you go. Water lettuces looking more green on camera than they do in real life. A few bits of debris that have fallen down on the tree, which will result in me putting the roof on the pond soon. The fish, the pond clarity isn't the best at the minute, really, is it? They're all huddled there at the back. Okay, so we pop back inside to set up the mission. Right, well, I've not told you what I've got in place, have I really, for this mission? So we've got the big blue bowl, overpriced bowl. Then we've got the sock net inside it, because that is, honestly, if you're starting koi keeping, you haven't got one of them, I think that is a brilliant bit of kit for moving a fish safely from the bowl over rocks, jagged edges, sharp edges on the pond, glass, where it could just maybe flip out of a net. In a sock net, there's no risk of that unless you let go of the bloody end of the sock. So it is a reassuring bit of kit for a bit of dollar, if you know what I mean. And you can get them cheap. That one that I got, I think I got it off Amazon. I'm not 100%. If I did, it'll be in the link along with every single bit of kit that I've got on my pond, with a link to Amazon, where, to be honest, if you buy something while you're using that link, I get a little kickback of like 5% or something. Not that it's essential, but it's a good Brucey bonus for me to have, if possible, because if you're going to be buying it anyway, I may as well get a bit of kickback off it as well. So anyway, I waffle on, okay? So then I've got the big net, which is from UK Nishigai. Pan net. It's very, very good, and it'll pay dividends when the fish get a lot bigger, because my little net wasn't big enough. So I will be catching the fish with that, bagging them up with that, putting the pond water in there. Then I'll be doing the scrape with a little bit of material, and I will be using this Apex Practitioner. That's a decent microscope, I was led to believe by a lot of people. It costs about 150 quid. I don't think it is on Amazon. If it is, I'll pop a link again to it, but I didn't buy this one off Amazon. But that's the one I'm going to be using. Like I say, I'm not the best at this, and this is, in my opinion, and due to the feedback that I've had from you guys in the comments, this is what I'm led to believe is the best performing microscope at like under 200 quid or something like that. I think it was about 140 quid, but who knows with the price of things at the minute. I went shopping at Tesco and Jesus, ooh, I won't be going there again. Just got a bit of wheat germ on the table because I'm going to be going 50-50 now. I know the pond temperature says it's 18 degrees, but I feel like it's going quite brisk and it could suddenly plummet the temperature at the minute. So basically I'm just going to be converting them over to 50-50 with the anticipation of the temperature going down quite fast and dramatically in the next 4 or 5 weeks, and then they'll be fully converted over to wheat germ to enable their digestive system to be tolerant at low temperatures to eating a little bit of this. I know there's a few people that do feed different foods during the winter. Some people that I really respect as well in the comments can't remember the names of the actual people that did comment, but I'm just going to be sticking to wheat germ for the future. And that is, well, there's some nappies just in case I get nervous, because I am nervous during this process. I didn't know that they were there, to be honest. Yeah, so that's all I need. To be honest, one of the things I might do is do an additional scrape in the future if I don't find anything, and just for an excuse to go and see Dave, really, a UK Nishigai, and he can give me the completely signed off, you have no parasites tick. But, well, that could be embarrassing, really, couldn't it? Because I could do this and say there's no parasites, and then I could do a scrape in a few days, go and see Dave, and he could find everything, and then I'd look like a bloody mug. Anyway, one step at a time, baby, one step at a time. Off we go. So I'm going to go and fill my bowl and get the Karachi guy, and I'll snap back to you when he's in the bowl. Like I said, it was 32 centimetres when he went in the pond, which was about 2 months ago. Is it about 2 months ago? Yeah, about 2 months ago, I think. I don't know. How long has it been? Yeah, about 2 months ago. We'll just see what his growth's been like and what he's like, and do a little inspection of him when he's out. So that's the next thing that you will be able to observe. Fiesta at the minute. But she is looking brilliant. Nice and broad. I would say, looking at that, what's that? You can see there, I'm trying to use my finger. She has, I think she's a she, developed beautifully. I just wish I could get rid of this reflection. There, you can sort of see now, looking amazing. Look at that. Look at the head, how broad the head is. Now round, like they say, Dave says, like top class core, you want to look like a cigar shaped sort of torpedo. And look how broad that is in the back and the spine coming down there, the head, a lovely section. It's come on leaps and bounds. It's hard to sort of see exactly what we're dealing with size wise at this particular point, but in relation to the picture that I'll pop in right next to it, you can see the difference in this fish. It is the same fish, it is the same koi, the big yellow one, as my son calls it, because it's his fish. But wow, let me try it. Okay. I feel like I'm mounting the bowl at the minute. This is bloody strange. I'm just trying to get rid of the reflection for you so you can appreciate it there. There we go. Like a bloody mount in the bowl just to give you the reflection. I hope the neighbours aren't seeing this. Beautiful. Beautiful, but some serious growth. Obviously I think it's a she. Quite stressed at the minute. But I'm going to get them back in. Wow. Has that fish grown, man? It has filled out like mad. Have you seen the bone structure on it, the size of it, the way it's gone up in centimetres? Like I said 31, 32 centimetres before it went in. That fish looks a lot bigger. So you can see there is a significant difference in size, width, length, head. The head seems very broad on this one, okay? So now I'll go back to why am I in this corner showing you this. Got two there, because I do two scrapes, a decent mucus level. Right, that's it. I've had enough looking around the moon. My bloody eyes are in from looking through the microscope all the time. And like, you come out of it, I've literally just finished now, and my eyes like I hope no one knocks at the door, because I look very strange and have to explain myself. Does it remind anyone else of like investigating the moon when they're looking through the microscope? And also, I really still massively dislike this part of the hobby. I'm just wondering if anyone has got an apex practitioner out there, and maybe on a fellow YouTuber or something like that, that is knowledgeable, knows 100% what they're talking about, could do a dumb down tutorial for me, because I am not very good with that microscope. I did have a good look round. I saw quite a few bits and pieces, something that looked like a dead grasshopper at one point, which is very interesting, but, well, it was actually quite interesting, to be honest. I had a good look at that, but I just don't like this. I'm like seeing stars now, like, because of the bright light. And if anyone else has got an apex practitioner, which I believe to be a very good microscope, is there any attachments that you can get so you don't have to like have your eye? Can you have like a little computer attachment that goes on it that can maybe send it to your Mac or your phone or something, so it doesn't have to be as intense on your eyes, because it is really intense on the eyes. Anyway, I digress. I did not find anything. I didn't see anything living on the moon. I didn't see any movement. I didn't see any shapes. I didn't see anything of concern other than that strange dead lobster thing, which was, I have no idea what it was, but it was not a parasite. It does definitely sound like one though, but it wasn't a parasite. Just like one of them weird shapes that you do see when you're investigating. It's a strange feeling, because I feel like I've looked through the microscope and you're hoping for no parasites, but I'm also hoping to catch a parasite to fulfill my feelings of being inadequate with the microscope. So now the real test will be, I will have to do another scrape, because I don't trust my own ability on that bloody thing, and I never have. I have found things previously, but it's not I don't think I'm ever going to get to a level where it's going to be definitive. When you do a scrape, and I can say on that scrape there is absolutely zero on it, or there's nothing on them fish, don't worry about it. So I hope to go and see Dave soon, and maybe Dave can find something that I can't. Like I say, he's got, obviously, as you'd imagine, as a top quality koi dealer, they have the best microscope there is. And I remember looking through his, and it was different to mine, but I'd imagine Dave's is like a £500 microscope or something, and mine's like 150 quid to 200 quid. I can't actually remember exactly how much I paid for it. Yeah, so sadly, or positively, I didn't find anything. But one of the reasons why I was doing this investigation now is, again, down to you guys. I know I say this a lot and it sounds a bit corny, it sounds a bit stupid, but it's not. Well, I said in one of the last videos, should I leave them all winter, and like if they got parasites, they go dormant, there's no need to concern, just treat them in the spring when they're all waking up, or should I investigate them now? And one of the comments that resounded with me, and I can't remember who said it, but it was a brilliant comment and it did hit home, which was, you're best having a little look now, because if you have got something, you can treat it now, because the temperature of the water is warm enough for the treatment that you may need. Whereas if I wait and say if the parasites are on there in a large volume, potentially causing issues to the fish, I may not have the ability to treat that particular parasite, which I thought, personally, be it right or wrong, I thought that was a great comment, a great perspective, and something that I actually agreed with. Hence why I have pulled my Karachi guy out today, give him a scrape, done an initial investigation to hopefully find some parasites, which I thought maybe, I still think, or else I wouldn't be doing this, I still think that potentially there are parasites in there. Like I say, I've seen the flicking and I've seen his behaviour going into the corners a little bit more than he used to, not feeding quite as rampantly as he used to. He's just slowed down a little bit, but like I say, that could be down to temperature, it can be down to parasites, it can be down to just not feeling well, because I believe that fish, like most animals, can just not feel well. Or he could have just got older and grumpier in them 2 months, because it happens quite quickly. But I do think that there is something unsettling him a little bit at the minute, and like I say, whether we'll find out anything or not, I don't know. Sorry to be like the bringer of no news, other than I am incompetent on a microscope. The other thing is, as I stare at it, that Hydros ice bath chamber, I just haven't had the guts at the minute to get in an ice chamber in these temperatures. I think I've missed the boat. I should have done it when it was warm outside, jump into an ice chamber and back out. But I am going to be doing it, and I'm going to be doing it soon, and we are going to see whether my 6.5 foot body, 18 stone, fits in that little thing, because it claims it does people like me. It can take people like me, and we're going to find out whether it can take people like me. And to be honest, we'll find out the benefits of it and see whether it does really make your muscles feel better, your mindset feel better, boost things, and vice versa, or whatever. We will be investigating that, but at the minute, I'm just not that keen to be stripping off and jumping in the back garden when I'm going into an ice chamber, not into a hot tub. Okay, so this has been an eventful little video, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing the Karachi guy and the mad growth on it. It does look like Wanda. I imagined it will be sort of the same bloodline as Wanda, because it's got a little bit of like redness, a little bit of like darkness, just like Wanda did, across the roof of the fin and on the back on the bottom of it. So I imagine it's the same bloodline, and that's why it's like that. But as you can see, that Karachi guy has grown substantially. I wish I would have, like, as I sat here talking to you, or stood here talking to you, I'm thinking, what it would have probably been more definitive to weigh the koi as I put it in comparison to the weight it is now. And I wonder why koi are always measured and not really weighed, whereas when you go carp fishing, they are weighed as opposed to measured. So I'd love someone to explain, or maybe there's definitely 1,000,000% going to be someone behind that camera that can explain to me why that is the way it is, or am I just missing something that everybody always does the weight and I've just been missing it all? And when I was carp fishing, everyone always gets a tape measure out and measures them, because it doesn't. They don't. Do they? Please drop a comment, because that is definitely, genuinely a point of interest, okay? So this has been Koi Fish Johnny. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. The next one will probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, involve me going to UK Nishigai to see Dave with some scrapes for him to do a little investigation as a pro that he is, all right? So, thank you very much. Koi Fish Johnny, over and out.